Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to 290 meeting of the Baroda Group. I am your Sajid Ram for the today's meeting. If you need to go to the washroom or the drinking facility are outside of this cabin, and please try to avoid the camera view so the recording don't get stuck. And try to avoid moving while someone is speaking on the stage. Okay. And there are some rules. For example, please silence your phone so don't get anyone get annoyed by the sound. Um, uh, there are three ground rules that we will follow when someone is trying to speak on the stage, and that is we do not talk about the sex, religions, or politics. Please make sure you try to avoid that kind of topic. And I will request you all to raise your right hand and repeat the club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience. Members are empowered. To develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I will request our presiding officer to come on time.
Good morning and namaste to everyone. Very happy to see all of you here. Last week, 23rd August was a remarkable day for all of us, and we were celebrating India's victory for successful launching of Chandrayaan-3. So I think as the Indian, we all of us are proud of that. We should celebrate that. And I read L&D has supplied that equipment and materials. We have L&D people here. This successful launching of Chandrayaan-3 has given a very beautiful message to each and everyone. It is, there was a Chandrayaan-2. It unfortunately was not successful, and ISRO team and everybody was so consistent and patient about the launching of the Chandrayaan-3. They tried, they didn't lose their passion, and they were consistent in their effort, and they could make it as a history. This is a lesson for all of us. We have our dreams and goals. We lose patience when we didn't get any success or the result the way we are expecting. So we should be consistent and we should have patience to reach our goals. And every event is a caused by past events. Chandrayaan-2 was a past event which caused Chandrayaan-3, successful launching of Chandrayaan. So whenever your goal is an event which will have a past events may be some failures, some disappointments. People may say that may show a big sympathy to you sometimes they will say discourage you. All these are the past events. Concentrate on the final event, be consistent, have patience, and move on. With this positive note, I declare meeting 290. Apologies for that. I start with okay. I can see the question here. So we ask you to come here with you have to say your name, what you do, and how you came to the work.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today I came to know that Baroda is a big city. I lost to reach here. I was moving here and there, and I disturbed TM Arya, I guess, Vipin Mammootty, Sakshi a lot. My name is Chintan NP Sheth. I have been a Toastmasters, but I took a break. I joined Toastmasters in 21 and I dropped in 2022. I was associated with Eloquent Toastmasters, Gurgaon, Haryana. In that 1 year, I was VP Education. I contested few contests and I shifted here last year. So that's what about me. Why Toastmasters? I used to be always a person who scrolled the internet, or was that time the data was very precious. But one day I came across the speech of Toastmaster Dhananjaya, 2014 WCPS, and I got mesmerized. I didn't know much about Toastmasters. I thought it is something which is available to US or somewhere else. But then I searched on and I found one in Gurgaon. Then I shifted last year. Due to personal issues, I could not join. But here again we follow. Thank you. Welcome back.
Hello everyone, good morning. I'm me Singh. I'm from NSC Toastmaster Club, and I am currently pursuing mechanical engineering from NSC. And my friend yesterday had requested me to come here and give a 50 meeting. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
I can see Anirudh and Raghav visiting coming here second time, so very happy to see both of you. We have an honorable guest today, PM Pinky. I request her to come. So we have Pinky is the inspiration. Her name is enough. She is and she's a sweetheart. I love her. When she is on the stage, nothing. I mean, we don't need to speak anything. Her face and personality is enough. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Means a lot. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm happy to be here after a long time. So I can see, yes, I know many of you here. I'm so happy to see you all. I have been a part of Toastmasters since October 2017 and am still a part of Toastmasters. Yes, Toastmaster has taken me to different places. I am now a software trainer and a professional speaker. So, in short, I am doing what I love to do. What else can you ask for? Thank you for that.
When he comes. Good morning, I'm a guest. My name is Liam Mehta. I'm 17. I'm in LSU. I just started my BBA degree in LSU. I'm a guest here. Yeah, I think all just the interview mentioned. So we move forward to those meeting. Ian Shikha is a avid reader. She wanted to do the book of read, but unfortunately she is not well. So morning 8:30 I came to know I have to do a book review. I was searching my bookshelf and which book I should review. So I searched this little book which made a very big impact in my life. Willpower and its development. It's written by Swami Buddhananda. This kind of small books are available in Ramakrishna Mission's bookstore, where you will find big topics written in a very simple way. So it is a combination of practical and a spiritual way where they have explained why willpower is important. What is the origin of willpower? Where does willpower comes from? And how you can develop it in your day-to-day life, as well as when some tragedies happens in your life, small tragedies or big tragedies, it will bring a willpower in your life, but you have to understand. You have to see the broader side of the any situation. That's all explained in this book. This is a 40-page book. You can just complete in 10 minutes. I recommend all of you to read this, and it is. You can even ask your kids to read it. It's a very simple, written in a very simple English, and it will help you definitely do that. Thank you so much. With this, I am moving ahead with the meeting, and I request TMOD Pradeep to come over stage. TMOD Pradeep has took this role on last moment, and kudos to him to support the club, and he's the experienced one in taking a TMOD. All are going to enjoy the session.
Good morning, third Toastmasters and students. I would like to draw your attention towards few changes in today's agenda. Toastmaster Ananda is supposed to take a TMOD role, which is replaced by me. And Toastmaster Hiranya, who is timer for today's meeting, but that role is now replaced by Toastmaster Jay. So, as a Toastmaster of the day today, it's my responsibility to explain the structure of the Toastmaster meeting for the of guests. Toastmaster meeting is basically divided into 3 sessions. The first one is prepared speech session, in which all the prepared speakers they present their speech as per their level and their pathway. The second session is table topic session, in which most of the members of the meeting they get the opportunity to speak on the impromptu subject. And the third session, that is the evaluation session, where all the prepared speakers and table topic speakers they get evaluated by the evaluators, where they can get feedback, they can get the learning, and they can implement those learning and improve further. Coming to the theme of today's meeting, master your mind, master your life. There is one thing common between you and the most successful people in the universe. That one thing is our brain. We all are born with the same neurology. Our brain, the structure of our body, everything is same. But even after that, why some people are successful and why some people live average? Because their mind is different. Mind, the successful people, what they are doing, they are investing their time, money, and energy in upgrading their mind. So, suppose in front of your house, if there is Audi or if there is BMW, and you are not know how to operate that car, then there is no use, right? That car has no use because we don't know how to operate that car. In the same way, for all human beings, the one of the most valuable thing that we have is our mind. And we have to learn how to operate our mind. So, what is the basic structure of the mind? What is how our mind perceives the information from the external world? Whenever any event is happening, for example, suppose this is Toastmaster meeting, and in this Toastmaster meeting, this event is happening, and how our mind perceives this event in our how this mind is perceived. The experience that is happening in the external world is with the help of our senses. That will be the help of our eyes, ears, our skin, all these sensory parts of our body that helps us to perceive this experience inside our mind. And once we understand the quality of the thoughts, master your mind means we have to master the quality of our thoughts. So what are the ingredients that will define the quality of our thoughts? The first ingredient that is affecting our thoughts is our belief system. What kind of beliefs that we have? According to that beliefs, we are taking perceptions in our Toastmaster meeting. Suppose we are coming in the Toastmaster meeting with the perception that this Toastmaster meeting, in this Toastmaster meeting, there is a lot of opportunities for me to nurture my skills. If this is my belief, it's possible for me to nurture my skills. It's possible for me to grow. If you are coming with this belief, then this belief will perceive this meeting in some another way. And your behavior in this same meeting, that behavior will change drastically. The second thing, that how you perceive yourself. If you see, there is one statement. That statement is, our behavior is consistent with images of our mind. Our behavior is consistent with images of our mind. Whatever image that we put in our mind about ourselves. If suppose I am seeing myself as a very confident person, if I see myself that I am the person who is varying his tone, varying his body, varying his facial expression according to the speech. If you are seeing yourself that kind of person, then your behavior in the same environment, how you see everything is produced twice in the universe. If you see this is produced first inside our mind, and that is again produced in the external world. Everything in the external world, whatever we are seeing, all that things are produced 2 times. As Toastmaster Ananda in last meeting, Toastmaster Ananda, he he told this statement, and I want to endorse this statement because whatever kind of person we want to make ourselves, whatever kind of person we want to become, we have to make that kind of person inside our mind first. Because when you see yourself, that kind of person, then only your subconscious mind will help you to take that kind of actions. So this is very important factor, how we see ourselves. What is our self-image? Self-image is something not that you see in the mirror. Self-image is something that you see in your mental screen. How you see yourself. That is our self-image. And that is very important point to put a proper quality of self-image inside our mind. So before I am going to explain you further things what we can do to master our mind, I would like to take an opportunity to introduce the tactic for today's meeting. And please help me to welcome timer Toastmaster Jayashree to explain her role.
Good morning. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and the kids. Today I am playing the role of timer. Time is the most valuable because if we waste time, time wastes us. So I am the timer of the day, and for prepared speech, time is for prepared speech, time is 5 to 7 minutes. On 5 minutes, I will show yellow card. On green card. On 6 minutes, I will show yellow card, and on 7 minutes, I will show red card. For icebreaker speech, there is a time limit of 4 to 6 minutes. On 4 minutes, I will show green card. On 5 minutes, I will show yellow card, and on 6 minutes, I will show red card. And for evaluators, time limit is 3 minutes.
Now I would like to call Toastmaster Hitesh, accountant for today's meeting, to explain his role. Please welcome Toastmaster Hitesh. Thank you, David.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning, dear guests. Today I am going to take the role of AHA counter. So when TM Hiren took this role, he mentioned that if you want to avoid using this R's, and filler words, take this role of once. And that's why I have categorically told TM Ravi that I'm going to take this role. But why it is so important to avoid these stumbling blocks in your speech? Let me take a couple of situations. First, imagine that you are making a presentation to an investor for your business idea. Now, during your pitch, if you are using these filler words like ahas, and the investor will himself think that whether you yourself are convinced about your idea or not. Confidence sells, and these filler words erode your confidence. Let's take another situation. Imagine a doctor explaining a very critical medical procedure. And if while instructing, he uses this filler words as a surgeon, cut there. I guess, no, not there. The patients will have, the confidence completely lost. So, if you pepper your speech with this kind of filler words, it's going to take a toll on your social confidence and bring in a lot of hesitation. So let's banish this word, aha, filler words, and also not overuse the same word again. As an avid listener, I am going to take note of all your filler words, and aha, and all the best to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call Toastmaster Kuldeep, grammarian for today's meeting, to explain his role. Toastmaster Kuldeep, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Toastmaster Kuldeep. I'm going to be your grammarian for today. So what does the grammarian do? Whenever you speak to someone, whenever you're in conversation with someone, you can make a small mistake, a pronunciation, a, grammatical mistake that can, within a single sentence, can tarnish your entire reputation with that person. I'm here to run a quality control check on that. It's not all bad. Whenever you guys use good uses of grammar, I will also note that down and give you your due credit. Now, as the grammarian, I said the word of the day and the phrase of the day. The word of the day is avid. Having or showing a keen interest or enthusiasm in something. I would like to use our youngest Toastmaster Kabir. Toastmaster Kabir is an avid cricket fan, and he has a good taste in cricket. And like Toastmaster Kabir, I too am an avid women's beach volleyball fan. But unlike Kabir, I don't understand the sport at all. Now, coming to the phrase of the day, by the book. So, a classic example of that is that at this club, we do everything by the book. We don't cut corners, and the meaning of that is doing something which means we strictly follow the rules and guidelines. So we don't cut corners, we follow the exact rules that Toastmaster International gives. So that is my report to you guys. I would like to hand it back to the team of the day. Again.
Now, I would like to move towards the first session for today's meeting, that is prepared speech session. And before calling the first prepared speaker, Toastmaster Group, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Vikram, to explain about his speech details. Please welcome Toastmaster Vikram.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. I'm evaluator for Toastmaster Group. He's in his motivational strategies, level 3, project 1. The objective is understanding emotional intelligence. The purpose of this project is for the member to cultivate an understanding of how his emotions impact relationships. I'm really expecting to listen to a wonderful speech from Toastmaster Group. Timer, please note, it's 5 to 7 minutes.
Please join your hands to welcome Toastmaster Group on the stage. Toastmaster Group, the secret source of effective communication. The secret source of effective communication, Toastmaster Group.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Toastmaster Dhruv. I'm very excited today because I have my speech today. I'm also a little bit sad because some chairs are empty. Let us be friends. Good morning, my dear friends. I am Toastmaster Dhruv. I'm very excited today because it is my speech day. I'm also a little bit sad because some chairs are empty. Thank you. Can anyone spot what is the missing element between the two ways in which I express the sentence? Yes. Energy. Openness.
Body language.
These all sums, yes, please. These all sums up to a broad category, what we can call as emotions. So, my dear friend, let us deep dive into this exciting world of emotional intelligence. As rightly said by Peter Drucker, the management group, the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. Emotional intelligence, also referred as EI, is the art of recognizing, understanding, and effectively managing the emotions within ourselves as well as others. In today's world, which is dominated by academic excellence or we can say technical skills, emotional intelligence tends to be overshadowed. However, this actually ability to understand and recognize the emotions plays a very significant role in our personal as well as professional lives. The human experience is a collage of different emotions: joy, anger, sorrow, fear, and many more. As we pass through the roller coaster of our life, these emotions become the color that paint our stories, our relationships with our friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers are deeply influenced by the way we handle and control our emotions. Empathy, my friend, is the gateway to emotional intelligence. Empathy is the ability to put ourselves into the shoes of the other, understanding from their perspective as well as their emotions. It includes active listening, genuine concern, and understanding and supporting others at the time of joy as well as their downfall. Empathy, by practicing empathy, our our bonding with our friends, family, as well as colleagues always increases. We become a great team player, a great leader, as well as a good communicator. In today's world, we can say that mostly we are communicating through text, like through platforms like WhatsApp. Can anyone tell me a way in which we can express our emotions through text? Can anyone tell the answer? Yes, emoji. It is emoji. It is yellow colored emojis. We have all type of emojis to express our emotions, and they always help us even in texting to say what we want to tell them. These emojis can be understood by everyone, irrespective of the language they speak. Our screens have become the window to our souls, and these emojis accompany us in expressing our feelings in while communication. I will give you one example. I will give 4 examples to tell you about how a sentence can be framed in a different way. I can't believe you just said that. This sentence expresses our happiness. While texting, to express the same sentence, we can use the emoji of a smiling face at the end of the sentence. The same sentence. I can't believe you just said that. This expresses surpriseness. To convey the same sentence while texting, we can use the emoji of a surprise face emoji at the end of the sentence. I can't believe you just said that. That is a feeling which shows angerness. To convey the same meaning while texting, we use the emoji of angerness. I can't believe you just said that. This conveys sorrow. To convey the same message, we use the emoji of a sad face while the end of the sentence. The emotions or any emoji has the power to break or make the impact which we want to make to the communication. And understanding these emojis and the various different emotional styles can help us to how we can implement this emotional intelligence into our day-to-day communication. To conclude, I would say that this emotional intelligence is the secret sauce which I tell to everyone to use it for an effective communication. As we all are expressing during our communication, words are exchanged many times, but many times the message seems to be lost because there are no emotions in it. But emotional intelligence is the catalyst that can make an impact in everyone's life. A leader with a good emotional intelligence do have the power to inspire and motivate his team. As rightly said by American poet and writer Maya Angelou, I have realized that people tend to forget what you said, people tend to forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So that is all from my side, and not thank you or thank you, but it is thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Group. Now, before calling the second speaker, Toastmaster Udit, I would like to call Toastmaster Kunal, evaluator 2 on the dais for explaining the key details of Toastmaster Udit.
Thank you. Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. My target speaker, Toastmaster Udi, is pursuing the path of innovative planning. And today, he is giving his project 2 level to connect with the audience. The purpose of the speech is member to practice the skill that needed to connect with an audience. Timer, please note the time for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and the speech title is Nature versus Nature.
Please welcome Toastmaster Udit on the dais. Toastmaster Udit, nature versus nurture. Nature versus nurture. Toastmaster would be.
Thank you very much. Good morning, my fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guests. So today I am going to talk about our nature versus the nurture. What is nature and what is the nurture? What nature means, what is nurturing means. So, ever you wondered why we feel the way we feel, why we behave the way we behave? What is the reason behind it? What decides our behavior? What decides our personality? Is it the nature which passed down by to us by the generation by generation that glued with our DNA, or the nurturing, the current life experience who mold us and shape our personality? How many of you think that our nature, the generation by generation, the DNA passed to us is decided our personality? How many of you think that the basic nature is our DNA been passed down by the generation? How many of you think that? One, two, three. Okay, you think that the generation we follow, that our ancestors who make their choices, decided our current personality. Okay, how many of you think that our current life experience made our personalities? Okay, quite a few. Before commenting on that, which is right, I want to show you one video, which is an experiment, which is
Training feed requires a glass jar with a lid.
Let's again start.
These are placed inside the training feed require
Please pause. So in this experiment, the scientist is what doing is putting a fleece on the jar in the jar. Please play the video.
training feed requires a glass jar with a lid. The fleas are placed inside the jar and the lid is then sealed.
Now it's closing the jar.
They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behavior is now set for the rest of their lives. And when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example.
So what we understand by this, not just the fleas who are putting on the jar, but also the reproduction of that fleas also don't come out a particular boundary. So in our case also, in humans also, we are not even aware of what we are able to do. Just by the beliefs we are passed down by the generations, we are not even aware that we can do these things. So a particular thing, for an example, like for a middle class family, middle class boy, from the whole life, from the whole generation, they face the financial difficulties. So never think about starting a business. Never think about taking the particular risk. But in the second example, like for an example, someone who is running a business for a long time, his grandfather, great grandfather, also running a business. To pass down their skill to the grandchildren is very easy. It comes with very basic nature to him to start a business. It has this particular skill. So in nurturing now, but let's say for an example, that there is one person who has only in his lineage, the particular grandfather or this particular generation faced a traumatic experience. Now that particular traumatic experience remains unresolved. So what happened is the particular traumatic experience resulting in unexplained phobia, fear, or some certain fear of, let's say, high water or the darkness. So it does that mean that the people who does not have a rich legacy behind them, who does not able to do anything good in their current life? How many think that the person who does not come from the good legacy or the good richness of the family does not able to do or does not become a good person or a better person in their life? How many think that? Can experience of current life can change that? Yes, that in this place, the nurturing comes into play. If we given a right environment, if we given the right mentorship, even a person who does not have the basic natural talent can shape that particular person into something very meaningful. Let's say if I want to become a poet or a writer, but I don't have this legacy behind my family, nobody was a writer before I. So if I get an opportunity, if I get a right mentorship, I can become a good writer compared to a particular person who has the legacy, who has the particular skill, natural talent, but does not get the environment, does not get the family support, does not get right mentorship, they end up doing nothing. So it is not about nature versus the nurture. I think the nature and nurture can help us. We can use both of that and become a best version of ourselves. So this is from my side. Thank you very much.
Indeed, environment is the most important factor for all of us to nurture our people. So, before moving to the third speaker, Toastmaster Kabir, I would like to call Toastmaster Bhutan to explain his speech details. Please welcome Toastmaster Bhutan.
Thank you, Toastmaster today. Today, my target speaker, Kabir. He is pursuing the art of the relationship. His speech title is Kabira speaking from project level 1, project 1. It is his icebreaker speech. Timer, please note, the time will be 6 minutes, 4 to 6 minutes. The purpose of the speech is to introduce himself to the club and to understand the structure, how to form the speech. So, over to you, Timor.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Bhutan. I would like to call Toastmaster Kabir on the dais. Please welcome Toastmaster Kabir. So Toastmaster Kabir is going to give his first speech, that is icebreaker speech, and I would like to request you all, please give standing ovation after completion of his speech. Toastmaster Kabir, Kabira speaking. Kabira speaking, Toastmaster Kabir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. 8th June 2005. It was raining cats and dogs all over the city, amidst which an ambulance was rushing towards the city of Ahmedabad. My birth was no less than a thriller movie scene. I was kept inside a glass incubator. Doctors said that my lungs weren't functioning fully and they doubted my chances of survival. It was not long enough that the doctor saw me crouched with my knees and elbows in a crawling position inside that glass incubator. The doctor surprisingly said, "He's a strong boy." That strong boy was named Kabir Brahma. I went on to have an amazing childhood in Vadodara. From playgroup till 12th standard, I was in the same school, Bright Day School CBS. 15 years in the same place. It became an inseparable part of my life. I made many friends. That school was my second home. When I was in my first, second standard, me and my friends would look at some of our seniors wearing badges, thinking that they must be one of the most disciplined and punctual students of the school. It was not until few years later that we realized that those students were from the Students' Council. We learned how the Student Council worked and how a complete election process takes place to elect that Student Council. You could only be in the Student Council in 9th standard and 11th standard, twice. When I came to my 9th standard, we were given the election forms to fill. I gave in my nomination for the post of General Secretary. Obviously, I wanted that badge which I had been seeing growing up. Then came the real battle, the preparation for your campaigning. Every contestant had to deliver their speech in front of around 1300 students seated over 30 different classrooms. Too much public speaking for a 9th standard boy. I rehearsed my speech 1,000 times, recited it all day, until the day finally arrived for our campaigning. My speech went great. Everyone told me that, "Kabir, you spoke amazingly. You will win this." Then comes the day of the result. Every contestant was standing on one end of our assembly hall, waiting for the result to be announced. And the whole school was listening to the announcement, seated in their respective classrooms. And then finally, the announcement is made. General Secretary Kabir Brahma. With a sigh of relief and joy, I walk out of the group of contestants to the middle of the hall where all the other winners would stand. I felt proud of myself. I finally achieved that badge which I had been aiming off. That term, my tenure as the General Secretary was a very memorable one. We learned a lot of things. First time holding a responsibility. We had to run by the books, obey what our teachers would tell us to. 2 years later, when I came to my 11th standard, we were again given the election forms. This time, I nominated myself for the post of Vice President Boy. This election was not much of a story thanks to COVID. Schools were running online. Elections happened and the results were announced on our school application. I was at my home. Results were announced and I opened the file. Vice President Boy, Kabir Karan. I felt proud of myself again. My term as a vice president was also a very memorable one. As the vice president, I hosted many events in our school, like Teachers' Day, where I had the whole school as my audience. I also hosted my school's farewell with an audience of around 500 students. These vice president and general secretary term gave me very core memories which still stay with me today. And they taught me a lot of lessons. I'm going to share 3 of those lessons which I learned over those years. Number 1, never say no to opportunities. If I had not filled that form of general secretary and vice president, today I would not have that experience of leading a team. I would not have that experience of building strategic relationships. I would not have that experience of speaking to a mass. I would like to quote a line of Julius Caesar, which says, "Experience is the teacher of all things." Number 2, one should always face the fear of losing, at least once in his life. The fear of losing, or in other words, we should always put ourselves in a competitive environment where we have to face the fear of losing. When I was in that group standing waiting for the announcement, I felt the fear of losing. I started evaluating my speech, what good could I have done? What bad did I do? The fear of losing makes a person realize that in order to outshine your competition, you have to have that aim, that execution. I would like to quote another line from a very famous movie, Kung Fu Panda, which says, "If you only do what you can do, you will never be more than who you are." And the third and the last lesson I learned was one should always have the joy of winning also. Because the joy of winning is like a blow of wind to your sailboat of life, which provides you that push to sail in the ocean of life whenever and whenever required. Currently, I'm pursuing my first year in mechanical engineering, and apart from studies, I am a photographer, I'm an avid traveler, and I used to write blogs too. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I'm sure of one thing, that this platform is going to help me in a lot of ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Secretary, for the icebreaker speech, and I congratulate you for completing the first step in the Toastmaster journey. Please, one second. I would like to request Timer to explain the time details of each speaker.
Good morning, all of you. Toastmaster group qualified. PM Udit qualified. PM Kabir disqualified.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jay. I would like to request Toastmaster Pratik to initiate poll for the best prepared speaker. So this is the end of our first session, that is prepared speech session, and before going to the second session, that is table topic session, I would like to draw your attention to the point that mastery of mind are the factors that are responsible for mastering our mind. The second factor that is very your focus. Suppose you want to master your mind in your relationship, where you are focused, whether your focus is on a problem or whether your focus is on a solution. If you are saying to yourself, why this person is coming in my life, I'm the one who is left out, I am the one who is unlucky, I am one who is unworthy. If you are talking like this, or instead of that, if you are focusing that no matter this person is there, no matter whatever problems are facing in my life, but let me take an opportunity to grow. Let me take an opportunity to come out of that situation. So what is the meaning that you are giving to the situation? The situation is the same. The problem, the things that are happening in the post-master meeting, these are the same things. But what meaning you are giving to this situation, that will decide whether you are going into the confidence state or whether you are going in unconfidence. So meaning, what meaning you are giving to the situation? So what we can do in order to give right kind of meaning in the Toastmaster meeting, we can focus on rightly said by Toastmaster Kabir, where we have to focus. You have to focus on the opportunity. You have to focus on the learning. You have to focus on the nurturing. You have to focus on the growth. You have to focus on the contribution. So this is all the things that we can do in order to master our mind. So I would like to give 30 seconds for voting for the best prepared speaker. Voting is over. Now let us move to the second session, that is a table topic session, and for that purpose, I would like to call the table topics master for today's meeting, Toastmaster Jyoti. Please be outside.
Good morning and namaste to everyone. Table topic session is will help you to develop your impromptu speaking or listening, and it's a wonderful opportunity for our guests to participate in speaking session. And the time limit for the session is 1 to 2 minutes. Minimum time is 1 minute. Maximum time is 2 minutes. 2 minutes 30 seconds you can take. If you take more than 2 minutes 30 seconds, you will be disqualified. So let's start with the session. May I request PM Pinky to come on stage and participate? Before we start the session, I forgot to tell you that I selected a topic, very simple topic. My purpose is that everybody can speak on such topic. So you will be, the topic will be there on a screen. You have to speak on the topic. Anything comes in your mind, you can speak anything on the same topic. I request Pratik to select the topic for the thinking.
Do you know what my passion is? Speaking. I agree. But you know what? That comes second. Good morning, everyone. My passion is food. I live to eat. I know, you all must be shocked. Wait, what is it? He doesn't look like a foodie, but hey, I am one. So that's what food means to me. Now, if you ask me, hey Pinky, what do you love to eat? So what I love to eat is either pav bhaji. Have you been to Hamburg? Anybody heard of the restaurant Hamburg? Yes, I love pav bhaji. Apart from that, what I like? Vada pav. Any time of the day. If you want to give me a treat, just call me, hey Pinky, want to go for vada pav? And I will be there. And where to take me? It's tasty vada pav. Well, that is food for me. But why am I speaking about food here? Many a times we take care of so many things that hey, this is how I dress up, we Toastmasters, this is how I speak. But even before coming on stage, do we take care of ourselves? Earlier, when I used to come for Toastmasters meeting, I never bothered to eat breakfast. I never bothered to drink that much water. Yeah, I should drink that much water. But now I'm made to the point, wherever I go, whether it's for a speaking assignment, whether it's for training, I take care of my health. So just take care of your health. Eat. It's not going to hurt. Before speaking, eat and keep your body hydrated. That's the tip of the day from my side. And thank you for that wonderful.
Doesn't have any relation with your body health. Anybody can see I am a body. I'm not body. I don't like, I am not so much into like preference over food. And yes, we should take care of our food habits, which is making our health and our personality. So moving forward, I request PM. Sorry, I forgot your name. PM Ashwin.
Hello, Masters and my dear. The topic for my debate topic is health. So what is the one thing comes to your mind when we talk about health? Anyone?
Let it keep away from
Sorry, Dr. So that is saying health is wealth. Coming to food, we need to eat healthy food. Talking about health, my main focus will be oral health because I am a dentist. So the basic tip, patient comes and asks us, sir, how to keep our teeth healthy. If you keep your oral hygiene healthy, we get infected. 90% of the problems are because of the issues in oral health. Let's say if you have sugar, your oral health will destroy. Once your oral health gets destroyed, you can't eat food. You can't eat food, your digestion will not work, you will not get energy, neither you will perform your day-to-day activity. Starting from child, if you see if they have black teeth and they will be having pain, but they don't express. Coming to them, they will be not having masticatory activity and we will find them undergrowth. So you should be including fibrous diet in children's diet, and also as we grow, we should be eating healthy food. And the only tip to keep our teeth healthy is brush twice a day and keep flossing your teeth daily, especially at the night time. Morning, if you don't brush, it's okay. But at the night time, brushing is important. Morning, once you eat, we will be drinking water, we'll be having the top. Automatically, the salivation will be there. But at the night time, we eat food, we go to sleep, the bacteria grows there, and that's the importance of nighttime brushing. And flossing, interdental area doesn't get cleaned with the help of toothbrush. So once you maintain your oral health, your body will be fit and fine. And food, you eat even any food. But if it stays there, it will not serve the purpose. Health is wealth. Thank you.
Thank you, DM Ashwin. He said a very important thing. Twice in a day, and before sleeping, brushing your teeth is very important. That's what I learned recently because my daughter is suffering from the tooth health, and that is what, and we are behind her that she should brush her teeth before sleeping, and it's a tough task, let me tell you. But we should have this, encourage our kids to have this habit to avoid such kind of things. May I request TM Yashraj participate?
So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As you can see, this topic looks like the happiness. So we have different definition of happiness. as we move in our life, when we are we are in our childhood. The happiness is hug from a mother, a candy from the uncle, or something like that. When we grow up, when we study, the achievement is getting marks, which is currently my situation as an engineering student. I am very happy when I see my whole result without that two letters, which is KT. And that now, currently, my happiness, I could say, is attending this meeting. When I hear the speakers, when they eloquate, they speak, and I could feel and vivid my situation with them and correlate, which makes me really happy. So for me, the happiness could be termed in three ways. The one is all my surrounding people and friends, food, and third one is my hobby. Yes, thank you and over to you.
Thank you, dear Mr. Yes, Jason. He is the DML, MSU. He is the active member of our club, so we forgot. Every time he, I think a lot. So thank you for that. And yes, happiness is all about enjoying your life. And I think our ultimate goal of life should be to be happy. We forgot we have so many goals, but we don't consider happiness as a goal. So to be a happy, it should be ultimate goal of our life. May I request guest Chintan to participate?
I have been a Gujarati medium student, and you can imagine myself visualizing myself speaking in English. I had been to multiple places in terms of public speaking, but it all started, as I said in my introduction, when I stumbled upon the speech of Toastmaster Dhananjay. From that day, I decided that I'll improve myself in a way that I will feel proud. Because he was like a dancer, he was a magician of the word, he was a wordsmith, and he was a treasure beyond measure. I was so impressed that within a month, I watched all the World Toastmasters speeches. And I saw all the speeches, noted multiple points, but I had no place to perform. I wanted the stage time. In 2021, I joined one of the club in Gurgaon, but due to COVID, I was delivering the speeches, doing everything in the Toastmasters from Zoom. As someone said, screen is a window of a soul, but I think the stage time, the physical stage will show the real soul of a person. And that's the number one hobby for me. Because the goal for me is not only to speak, it's about communication. Because communication is all about making the audience feel the connection with the speaker. It's not about to be the best speaker. It's about be the real one and convey the message in a way that someone who's listening take either action, think about it, or may ponder upon their lives. So that's one of my hobby, or I would say one of the most fascinated hobbies I am having. Apart from that, as I said, I'm a person who always scroll the websites, always on the net, and I love to cook. So that's all about it. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Chintan. Language cannot be a barrier for your public speaking or conveying message. That's what I feel. If you are struggling with, I am also studying from Gujarati medium. You will learn from your mistakes. You will learn from your experience. If you are struggling with your English, your grammar, please do not hold yourself. Come here, speak, take participation. Language will not stop you. So just have that in your mind and move forward. Thank you for sharing. Let's invite guest Anirudh.
Wow. That was
Only one sister.
So there-
One sister. What is the-
One word that I would start off when I hear the relation sister is a firebrand. Why? Because I have one 6 years younger to me, and she is actually a firebrand. She's a writer. She works as an IT professional, and she is basically controlling the entire house. I'm afraid of my father, but my father is afraid of my sister. That's how the situation is. We always have a debate when she comes. As a matter of fact, after 2 hours, she's landing here. Because it's festival time. And we are going to have that old debate. Whether I was born or whether I was adopted. In a very hysterical way. And that's because of difference in ideology. And which is always going to be there with your siblings. Even if you are twins, like the way you see here on the screen. But remember one thing. Your sibling, particularly your sister, is always gonna back you, no matter where you are. That doesn't mean brothers are bad. But sisters always have that extra advantage of being with you every time. Thank you so much.
I request all of you do not leave the stage without shaking.
My fault.
That's okay. We are learning here. Sisters, yes, sisters are big support system. And if you have sisters, you are blessed. Because sisters are, I mean, they're amazing when it comes to give emotional support. I am blessed with that. I have an elder sister. She's always stood by me. If whenever I do any mistake, she's there to hide that and support me. So you rightly said. Let me invite guest Adam. Yes, Violet.
Good morning, everyone. So my call was very abrupt. When I was like kind of sleeping and I just woke up. Oh, my name is Fun. That is what happens in the classrooms. A very respectable and very important person or personality in our life, or teachers, or professors, or our guides. Teacher, I think it is not a designated person only who can take the role. It can be anything or anyone in our life. We learn a lot of things from very different people. One of the very key things which I learned from one of my professors, which I would like to share in this 2 minute speeches, is about making presentations. It was about how to make effective presentations. He told me that whenever we are making any presentations, we are preparing slides. Stop making any changes to the slides a day before the presentation. What does this? It helps you prepare, helps you make yourself practiced enough so that you can deliver your presentations, your delivery without any hesitations or any joy. So this thing, this is just the one thing which I have learned, and I have practiced it so much that whenever I deliver any presentations in my corporate life or even in my schools or in the college life, it has helped me a lot. So recently I won best presentation award in XPCL top management team. So that was due to this suggestion from my teacher. I would like to conclude my speech for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Balu. Indeed, I mean, whatever suggestion and advice the teachers have given, you never know when and where it will help you to succeed in your life. I remember Mrs. Shaila Danwade, my school teacher. I was like, I just wanted to do anything just to listen some kind of praising from her. I wanted to impress her, and she did. I mean, she contributed in my life. So that's the importance of teachers in my life. Let me invite guest please.
Good morning, everyone. So my favorite, I do not follow any celebs on social media or anything, but my favorite celebrity is Catherine Langford. As I'm very much inspired by her role in particular series, I would not like to tell that's character. But whenever I see her in that character, I feel so much connected that we are very much connected in uh, so many ways. We think same ways. We are like so much alike. But at the same time, I'm very much anxious and stressed in my daily life. But she's enjoying her life very much and living it fullest. And I like to learn a lot that how can I be such a person? How can I live fullest? Even though we have the same characteristics, but there is something different that I feel. Whenever I see her, I feel like there is so much energy that she spreads. She spreads she's like sunflower. Whenever there's someone meet her and we are like, oh hi, how are you? And all of that. So I would like, that's why she's my favorite celebrity that I would like to learn that how can I be such a enthusiastic person and be social with everyone. And I really like my solitude, but let's say I am here in society, so I have to be with everyone, and that's what I'm learning here. Thank you.
Yes. Celebrities are not only Bollywood stars. We have to, guide our kids that celebrity can be any person, even your parents or anybody who inspires you.
Yeah.
Many are sitting here who are inspiration for all of us. May I request TM Ravi?
Well, good morning, everyone. This is the topic that is very near to my heart. Whenever I go anywhere, I was always treated like a kid. But I just clarify that I'm 26 years old. Married. And today, I completed my 5 years in smart automation. So I have a working experience too. As kids, I have sent so many memories. Many of you would like to go outside and play, but I'm not that kind of kid. I always like to go with my grandfather, with my father to their company and do little bit of work and learning new things. I always like to build toy cranes with wooden sticks and DC motors and everything. So that's all about me. Thank you.
I love kids, but kids never love me. I don't know because I was why they don't love me, but then I realized that I'm a very naughty person when it comes to kids. I like teasing them a lot, and kids never like that. So I don't know. My daughter also, she's very fun. He always says that Papa is best, Mom is little strict. So this is something I need to improve so kids will like me. But there is some problem in me, not in kids. They are very lovely and they are very lovable and sweet. And let me tell you, when kids are there in home, then home is home. So like, especially daughters, that makes the home very lively. Okay, may I invite PM Pratik? Maybe can you help me share the topic?
How many of you have brothers? Okay. And how many of you have younger brothers? When you are an older brother, you are like a project to your father. They are enthusiastic more about the first one. Generally, they see everything. Oh, I will make her a doctor. I will make her an engineer. They have a very much dream. But the second child, your second brother, for me, is like, let's just, the first one might get fit a little bit alone. So that's how second brother came at the first place. But as soon as we grow up, the love toward the first person, first child goes to lean toward the second. Whenever I shout, they think I did something. But whenever my younger brother shout, they think I did something wrong. That's the privileges you have when you are an older. And as an older brother, you find that you have so many, for example, responsibility that you might be the first leader of your or after your father. Then there is some tension and then pressure there. But the younger brother is always like, you know, if he breaks something, he didn't even get punished. But the as a elder brother, you have to be, you know, like very responsible person. So as my younger brother, I have a very sweet memory as well, but also a little bit bitter memory as well. But that's a brother. Right? But whenever I need something or I am very stuck at somewhere, I believe my younger brother is always there. Even if he is making any big decision, he always asks me. That's what kind of understanding we already have. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, what is your
Brothers are someone who will fight with you, but who will not let other person fight with you. This is how brothers are. May I request ma'am? Participate. Parents. I love my parents. I know people are in the notion that teenagers don't like their parents, but I love them a lot. I look up to them a lot because honestly, even if I was not their kid, they are two people with such a profession at such a position that I will always adore them, even if I was an external person to them. My parents have always been there for me through all my struggles, my siblings' struggles. I was not born in a very conventional manner. My mom had a medical condition when I was born, and people did not love me in the family. But my parents they always loved me. I am the younger sibling, so I've always been the protected little kid. But they have always let me do whatever I have wanted. They have never ever scolded me too much for anything. Even if I got a little bit of bad marks, I was a science student. I was supposed to become a doctor. And my mom's a doctor, so it's her dream for one of her kids to become a doctor. But I left that and I went into BBA. I was not school. I was so scared to get scolded. I thought they are gonna hate me. They did not. They love me. They said, do whatever you want. Just do good. That is what parents are. They will always be there for you whenever you're good or bad, at your worst, at your best. They are your parents. They give birth to you. You think that they might hate you. That's not hatred. That's their love for you. Thank you, Gabriel. When it comes to parents, when your parents are growing older, they are behaving like kids. So best way to love your parents is become parents of your parents when they are getting older. That is the best way to love them and support them. We are ending the table topic session. I hope you enjoyed and thank you very much for the wonderful participation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyoti, for the wonderful table topic session. And I would like to call Toastmaster Jayashree to explain the time difference.
I am here with my table topic pages. Time report. TM Pinky, qualified. TM Aswin, disqualified. TM Yasraj, qualified. Guest Chintan, disqualified. Guest Anirudh, qualified. Guest Bhargav, qualified. Guest Meet, qualified. TM Ravi, qualified. TM Pratik, qualified. Guest Leah, qualified.
I would like to request Toastmaster Pratik to initiate the poll for our best table topic speaker. So this is the end of table topic session, and now let's move to the next session, that is general evaluation session. And for that purpose, I would like to call Toastmaster Gitanjali, lifelong learner of Toastmaster Club. Please be on the dial.
Just making a lifelong learner. Actually, I'm not here to learn something. I am here just to keep myself fit. Because in old age, we have so many diseases like Alzheimer's, forgetfulness, and all this. That's why I just want to give my mind too much work. And this is the reason, this is for some higher purpose. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. It is said that feedbacks are the breakfast of champions. Actually, we all need people who give us feedbacks. That's how we improve. I welcome you all in my evaluation segment, my soulful greetings, and namaskar, each one. Today, in the evaluation segment, I confidently can say that there will be a fire on the stage. There are three very competent evaluators are there, and I am very confirmed that whatever the evaluation they will give, that is not only good for their respective speakers, but I think we all must learn and take those points in our mind to be a good speaker. And so, without further delay, I want to introduce my first evaluator. Dear audience, please welcome Toastmaster Vikram on the stage. Speakers and evaluators of art. Please be on the stage.
Good morning, Toastmasters and guests, once again. Toastmaster Group, the secret sauce of effective communication. I was always tempted with the tomato sauce, but because it's very expensive nowadays, I'm very happy about the secret sauce in your. You started with the same sentence spoken twice. You involve the audience for the feedback. When you involve the audience for the feedback, the message is always conveyed perfectly. Happy, sad, anger, the tone of voice match the emotions. All the emojis that you projected on the screen were well explained so that every audience could understand it in a very good way. When you involve the audience response, you had an interruption from someone who gave the answer after you continued with the speech. It's always better to tell thank you and stop it, intimating the audience that yes, I'm done with your feedback and continuing with the speech. We travel through the roller coaster in life, not pass through the roller coaster. That's very important. Your speech had presentation of emojis. I recommend you to use the remote slide changing device by yourself because you own the stage. It's your responsibility to take care of the online presentations as well. Considering that we have no remote slide changing device, you should always thank the person at the end of the speech who did it. Thank you, Pratik, for helping me with the presentation. That is essential. Your speech aligned with the title and the objectives. However, a personal story always makes everyone remember your speech. You quoted in the end of the speech that you will never forget how you made them feel. In the same way, people may forget what path you're following, what's the project that you gave, or even the speech title, the date, the time, whatever. But they will never forget your personal story because you made them feel what you went. At the 6th minute, you had a nervous pause. Maybe your emotions took over it, or there was no emoji for that. But still, it was courageous for you to continue with your speech, overcoming your nervousness. It's not about being nervous, it's about overcoming that nervousness. My recommendations, own the stage for that entire 5 to 7 minutes, work on your grammar, have slow transitions between sentences. Thank you so much.
But you just see how simply he has given such a minute evaluation to us. Now, another subject for you all. Now I am inviting my second evaluated Toastmaster Pranali Abhi. Speaker and debater. Please welcome him with a loud round of applause.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Johnny. Toastmaster. Once again, good morning, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. As they say, well-being is the heart. Toastmaster indeed. You excel when you announce your speech title in the agenda, Nature versus Nurture, because it ignited the curiosity in the audience that what Toastmaster indeed is going to speak about. After that, you opened your speech asking questions. That was very good way to engage the audience. But here is a catch. You throw 5-6 questions at a time. It is better you ask one question, you acknowledge the response from the audience, and then you move on. You saw a very impressive video of a ski, and it has a very powerful message. So it is very advisable for a speaker to use a prop to engage the audience, and you excelled in that. Not only that, you also narrated a story of a middle class family that how they struggle when the preconceived notion was designed when the child is grown up in the middle class family. Now every speech has a scope to take to the next level. Let us see that how you can improve in your speech. First thing is eye contact. You were constantly looking in the middle. I was waiting that when you are looking at me being your evaluator, but didn't work out. So it is better that you please intentionally watch audience at least for 2 to 3 seconds. Like if I'm watching Pradeep for 2-3 seconds, then I'm watching TM Jyoti for 2 to 3 seconds, or maybe 2 hours. So it will help you to connect with the audience directly. The second point is, as the Toastmaster Vikram has rightly mentioned, slow down. The pace of your delivery was very high. It is better to slow down so that audience can absorb what you are trying to convey. The third point is there was unnecessary pause at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So you could have eliminated either by asking question again that have you got what I am saying? Because it happens that as a speaker sometimes we forget that what we are trying to say. But audience should not feel that we forget. So there are tricks that you can use that okay, how many of you are clear what I have delivered so far, and then you can move on. And the last point is there was an abrupt closing of your speech at 5 minutes sharp. You had 2 vital good minutes utilized. You could have utilized more by sharing your own personal experiences, and that could be more engaging with the audience. Overall, it was a great speech, and I challenge you that next time you please use the prop and the humor in your speech, and we would love to see that how you deliver on the stage. Thank you, and over to you.
TM Bhushan, today's third evaluator, who will evaluate the speech of icebreaker speech of Toastmaster Pradeep. Please welcome Toastmaster Bhushan on the stage, and he is a very profound speaker of ours. Welcome, Toastmaster Bhushan on the
Thank you. My target speaker, Kabir, and his speech title, Kabira speaking. By listening to the title, Kabira speaking, taken from the movie Hera Fairy, I immediately went to the listening mode that Kabir is going to speak and I should listen to him. Now, I was very curious, the 15th century poet Kabir, what he has said that time still will say. I don't think what Janti Kabir is going to say. And he has proved that when he is speaking, people are going to listen to him. He introduced himself in an engaging story, how Strong By has took birth on this earth. He started as a leader in the school and looking towards future with open arms. He used quotes and phrases in his speech like raining like cats and dogs, experience is the best teacher, and Kung Fu Panda phrase from the movie. It shows he's not only a good photographer, traveler, but a good reader too. Going by the book, how I have evaluated the Kabir. Clarity, I can easily listen to him from the back. There was very clear words and clear way of the speaking. Vocal variety, the way he spoke, like he imitated doctor. He is a strong boy. It was having the voice modulation when he spoke it. Eye contact. When I was looking at his eyes were like speaking to the audience. When he was having movements, his eyes also were speaking to the audience. Like they were carrying emotions. Gesture, his hand gestures were quite, he was open to the, he felt comfortable and he was moving his hands and it was a free movement of the hands. Audience was engaged throughout his speech from starting to the end. And listening to his story as a leader and getting the attention. One of the things I liked about his, when he started his speech, he gave the picture of a situation wherein the situation he was born. So he described it a way that I could picturize it in my mind. Coming to the recommendation or improvement, which I felt. He has good eye contact, but somewhat I felt that he was looking towards this side more, less somewhat feeling to this side. I don't know to whom he was feeling this side.
Father is there.
Too much movement. You could restrict your movements. It felt comfortable for you, but there were too much movements like this, and you could restrict it towards your speech, which can be useful. And I believe maybe a casual attire, instead of having too much casual attire, you can be better in terms of, for example, you could have better attire. Let me just conclude on that. So this is from my side. And just returning on that side, this was the best example of nature and nurture, right? Yeah. So over to you, TM Gitanjali.
Now it's the time for my timer. So please welcome Jayashree on the dais, a lady with a very innocent smile. Be on the stage.
And here with my time before. For prepared speech evaluated. TM Vikram qualified. TM Krunal qualified. TM Hussain qualified.
Oh, nice. All my three evaluators are qualified. Now it is a great responsibility on the audience to choose who, because everyone is free. So our sergeant at arms will launch them. Now, please welcome one of the handsome person of our club, Toastmaster Durgay, to evaluate the speeches of every topic speaker. Please be on the stage, Toastmaster Durgay. The stage is yours.
Thank you, TM Gitanjali. Okay. No. Good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Table topics are very simple, and because the topics are simple, that is why each speaker should each speaker can speak easily without having a second thought. For that, it is hard for me to find mistakes of table topic speakers because all speakers were like avid speakers. And I was amazed by speeches of all the table topic speakers, but I have but I'll share feedback of each speakers. What are the positive points they have followed rather than negatives, because there are few negative points, which is very good for all speakers who speak first time, or there are many veteran speakers also. I'll start with Toastmaster Pinky. Her topic was food. There are no suggestions, but there are some few points, positive points, which we have to understand by during giving a speech. She has a great facial expressions, eye contact, stage appearance, audience engagement, and voice modulation. There are some positive points which I have noted down. There are no any negative comments or negative points which I have noted. So kudos to TN Pinky. Now Toastmaster Ashwin. His topic was health. One good thing about that table topic speaker had to think of 30 seconds in which they have to structure their speech, what they wanted to speak in front of audience. So that's the good point for TM Ashwin. He had nicely explained about the health and gave suggestions and tips like a doctor. He is a doctor. So also he had given some tips about how we took care of our dental care. Also he has used stage very nicely, but one suggestion is that he had close hand during the speech. He should have it shows actually that nervousness while giving a speech. So you can work on that. Let's move on to the next one. Toastmaster Yashraj. His topic was happiness, as he looks like. He was very calm and smiling during his speech, and it shows the confidence that he's very good at giving impromptu speech. And nicely explanation about happiness. So there are no suggestions from my side. Guest Chintan. His topic was hobbies. That also Chintan has very good eye contact, hand gestures. There are no suggestions from my side. He nicely explained about hobbies. Guest Anirudh. Anirudh has given topic of sisters. So there are also no suggestions from my side because he had used he had a very nice modulation, nice voice modulation, hand gesture, humor, eye contact. They have used these positive points which we have to note it down. Guest Bhargav and guest me have no suggestions from my side because they both did wonderful job by giving speech about, and there's title speech title topic title was guest Bhargav was given teacher and guest me was given topic like my favorite celebrity. They are nicely explained. Toastmaster Ravi has given speech about kids. Speech was very humorous, smiling on. He always keep smile on his face. In face. One suggestion is that work on hand gestures because hand gesture hand gesture is the most important part in speech because we have to explain points to audience. Let's move on to Toastmaster Pratik. No suggestions from my side. He did very well. Yes, Ria. nicely explanation about parent. No suggestions from my side. With this, ending evaluations and over to you, G.
Now it's the time to hear the report of our Ahad. Please welcome one of the pleasing and soothing personality of our club, Toastmaster President.
While noting for evaluation, I have literally gone by the book. There was no need to write so many names. I have written everybody's name. There was no need to write TM Vikram, TM Kunal, TM Gitanjali's and guest Anirudh's name because they didn't utter any of these filler words or any of this. TM Dhruv, 2 hours, 1 air and 1 pause. TM Udit, 2 hours and 2 times you use the word so. So I have noted down the use of the word so where it is used other than giving any logic. TM Kabir again absolutely flawless. TM Bhushan 5 hours, 1 times repeating the use of word I and 1 long pause. TM Jayashree 1 long pause. TM Modi Pradeep 1 hour and just 1 so. TM Jyoti 2 hours, 1 long pause and 1 use of the word I mean. TM Durgesh quite a number of hours, 1 air and 4 long pause. TM Ashwin 1 pause. Guest Chintan 1 hour and 1 pause. Guest Bhargav 1 time use of the word so. Guest me 2 hours, 1 in, 1 so. And repeat of the word but. TM Ravi 2 hours and 1 pause. TM Pratik 3 hours, 1 time use of the word but. Guest Rhea 1 hour. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Very good. Now, dear audience, I am calling one of our members who is very famous for his Western accent and is a very calm and composed person. Please welcome Toastmaster Deep on the diet. Please be honest.
Hello everyone, my name is Toastmaster Kuldeep and I'm going to give my grammarian report for the day. So I'm going to start with, before I start, however, the people that I don't mention, it's not that I ignored you, it's actually that it means that you did a good job. So I'm going to start with Toastmaster Pradeep, our teamer of the day. So if you are see yourself that kind of a person, you could just say that if you see yourself that kind of a person, he could say something like that. He said, I'm going to explain you further things. He said, I'm going to explain you in. Now moving on to our first speaker, Toastmaster Dhruv. He said this expresses surpriseness, angerness. He could have said this expresses surprise or anger. He said he closed it off with a quote. People tend to forget what you did, forgot what you said, but they won't forget what you made them feel. That was the quote by Maya Angelou. But people tend to forget. So maybe he can work on that. Our second speaker was Toastmaster Udit. Scientist is what doing. He said scientist is what doing when showing the flea video. What is the scientist doing? He also asked the question to the crowd, people who does not have a rich legacy behind them. People who do not have a rich legacy behind them. I'm moving on to our third speaker of the day, Toastmaster Kabir, who used the word of the day twice and phrase of the day once. And he did a very good speech. And he was remarkably well spoken for icebreaker, and I'm going to tell you how. He opened the speech and he said it was raining cats and dogs. I like that he could elaborate it in one sentence. When he was describing his school, he said, in several parts of my life. So that was a nice way of phrasing it. He said something, he added some quotes, Julius Caesar quotes, which was always nice. Our second topic, Master T.M. Jyoti. He said, when kids are there in home, home is home. When there are kids at home, that's when the home becomes home. Master Pinky was great. Ashwin, he gave us a doctor's consultation. So if you have sugar, your health will destroy, is what he said. If you have sugar in your oral, in your mouth, your health will suffer. You could have said something of that sort. TMS was good. Guest strengthened a treasure beyond measure. I like that. That's why I wrote it down by the public speaker. Guest Anirudh was good. I put a star next to his name. And guest Bhargav in the college life. Guest Meet. I like to learn. How can I be such a person? I would like to learn. How can I become such a person? He is like sunflower. That is not a good way to describe a woman, but if you could become another flower. TM Pratik, I will a doctor. I'm sorry, I can't read. I'll tell it to you afterwards. Our general evaluator, TM Gitanjali, I just wrote next to her name word of the day and phrase of the day. And she used the word of the day once and she did not no mistakes. Vikram, I also did the same thing. He did not use word of the day or phrase of the day, but he was very cool and collected in his evaluation. TM Pranal, I also did the same thing. So there was no mistake from my end. TM Bhushan used word of the day twice and he used phrase of the day once. Comparisons he made between 15th century poet Kabir and Gen Z Kabir. Table topic evaluated TM Durgesh. He said, there are many speakers who speak first time. There are many speakers who speak for the first time. What do you TM said use the phrase of the day once. And that is my report for the day.
With all this sensational evaluation and insightful reports, it's my turn to give you an insightful report of the whole meeting. First of all, I want to give thanks to our VP and VPN for sharing all the details of the live meeting and to make our meeting. Kudos to you. Today, as I came at 10 a.m. and I saw already that our sergeant at arms was present here and doing all the necessary arrangements to make the meeting successful. Sharp at 10:30 a.m., we opened the meeting by wonderful clapping. We followed all the protocols of the meeting and shared the mission and vision of the club in a very nice way and then very smoothly handed the charge of the meeting to our presiding officer and president, Toastmaster. He has done a great job by giving such a wonderful presidential road, and I want that in future also bring such presidential road to encourage the young minds and members of our club. Thank you, sir. Not only that, she courageously took the role of the book of the week and she narrated about the book named Willpower, written by Swami Buddhanand. And I urge everyone to read that book to make your life happy. Then we handed the charge of the meeting to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pradeep. First of all, kudos to you and hats off to you for taking the role at the last minute. And not only at the last minute, you have taken the role. You have very nicely explained about the theme, mind your
master your mind and master your life. Well done. Very nicely you have explained. And if we just give a thought on his theme, certainly it will help us to lead a very soothing and happy life. Thank you so much. When comes the prepared speeches, that section was indeed a good, but I think speakers, not only the content and the language should be good, but your body should talk with your speech to make your presentation very impressive. And what to say about Toastmaster Kavi? I am highly impressed by him, his confidence, marvelous confidence. But one thing, just take note of the time, don't overshoot. You are. Indeed, it was a wonderful being a beginner, I say, for the future. We must nurture him nicely to get some very higher level prizes for our club. Well done, Toastmaster Kabir. Now, TM Jyoti, again, she has amazed us as a table topic master. All the topics were very innovative and interesting. Not only that, you give one punchline, one or two punchline suggestion of yours that makes your part wonderful. And today, really, I'm amazed by all the table topics. They have given their best. It is really real to hear such table talks. All the table topic speakers, the main, especially the guests like Chintan, Anirudh, Arthur, and then Lady Dia. Our work, Pinky, indeed, she is an excellent speaker for her. I just would want to say. Because she is already an established speaker. But this speak so well, I am amazed. Explanation and speech. Well then, you should come and give such speeches in this platform. Tag team. They mesmerized us. They gave their excellent to make this meeting successful. Toastmaster Durgesh, just a little bit practice is needed, but you did your job. Nice. In overall, I can say that it's a wonderful meeting and very rarely such type of fulfillment, where I get the fulfillment, internal, such type of meeting. Really we conduct. But today, it not only gives satisfaction, I just get really good feeling. Every role player given, every role player, told table topic master, everyone has given. With this, I just want to give the charge of this stage to our Toastmaster of the day to conclude.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gitanji, for that wonderful presentation. Now let's move to the conclusion for today's meeting. Master your mind, master your life. The last point that I want to discuss about the master your mind, that how can we master our mind is by giving logical explanations to our. We have to logically give explanation of. But everybody who is present in this meeting, everybody is mastering certain things. It may be singing, it may be dancing, it may be driving, it may be swimming. Everybody is master in particular. That means you are doing that activity with very much confidence. Right? So what we can say, the resource of confidence is already existing in us. The resource of confidence is already existing in us. That is why we can drive. The resource of confidence is already existing. That is why we can swim. So if you think like that, that means I can create the resource of public speaking. That means I can create the resource of any skill. When I was joined as an engineer in my first organization, there I didn't know how this extrusion machine is and how that is part manufactured. But when I see that machine first time, then I learn about that operating skill of that extrusion machine. What are the different parameters that I have to set on that heating parameters, or cooling parameters? What is the material that we need to mix to manufacture that PVC pipe, the resin, calcium, what do we need, right? So I learned all that things from there. Then I thought that if it is possible to become an expert in extrusion skill, why can't I become the expert in public speaking skill? Because there I can move my body. There I can talk confidently with my colleague. So why can't I talk confidently in Toastmaster? So if you see, if you want to master your mind, you have to logically convince yourself that that the resource of confidence, the resource of courage, the resource of happiness, the resource of whatever thing, that resource already exists with you. And if you logically convince yourself, I'm sure that you will become the master of your mind and the master of your life. Thank you. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, dear Mani, for such a wonderful theme. I want to say something about, I want to add something about this theme. We often get the negative thoughts in our life when we get disturbed with any situation, any emotion, any feeling. What I do is, I want to share with all of you. Number one, acceptance. When you accept the situation, feelings and emotions, the power of negative thought gets it gets, I mean, it will limit it. The moment you accept the situation, your mind started thinking in a solution mode. The second thing is you have to think towards the solution, things which are in your control instead of crying over things which are not in your control. And always, whenever there is a difficult situation, look at the broader side of that situation, because everything happens for a reason. But you need to see the positive reason why it happened. If something bad will happen, there must be something good will arrive in your life. And whenever God is going to give you something, the first thing He will do is He will take away all the negative things from you. So this is the kind of signs we have to see, and we have to move forward in that. Moving forward, any guests want to share feedback? Anything you want to share with us? Anyone?
It was not only a Toastmasters meeting, it was kind of a therapeutic session with full of nuggets of wisdom. Learned a lot, and as one of the speakers said, and as the phrase of the day, everything was by the book. And I'm really happy that I decided to come here and join the session. All are great speakers, and I must say, it's been an enlightening experience. Thank you.
We have final time. I request CN Pinky to encourage the audience because she has gone through a lot in life, but she never talked herself. So in just 2 minutes, can you just encourage people, and because it's our privilege to have her in our meeting. So I request him.
Thank you. Thank you, Varun. You need encouragement. I don't. So now, why do I say that? I can see everyone grabbing the opportunity, everyone playing their roles, know what they have to do, everyone coming prepared. I can see the effort you all have put behind today. Whether it is introducing something new, whether it's book of the day, or whether when I came, I saw it, TMOD serial, this type of serial. Wow, this is something new. So you all are, each and every time when I come here, I get something new, whether it's the speeches and all, amazing. Now, if I have to share something with you all, what worked for me was that usually we work upon, like, this is something which worked. our weaknesses. Okay, I am not good at that. Let me work upon this and do. I did the opposite. I knew my strengths and I started working upon my strengths. And that is what helped me. So I encourage you all to just one thing, that please identify your strengths. Please identify your strengths. And that is what
Pinky was the one who helped me identify my strengths. I remember when it was our celebration meeting and I met her first time. She mentioned me that smiling is your strength. Use it very wisely. So and she herself is like no matter if she speak or not, she will give advice in her from her time. One more important thing I want to convey is our new members, TM Jayashree, TM Hitesh, Kabir. Team Jayashree, last time when she played a role of timer, she was very confused. I was constantly behind her, show the red flag, the yellow flag, this and that. And then she told me, ma'am, I'll do it better next time. I told her it's okay. We are learning like this. Today, I didn't even see like I was not required. She was so perfect in her role. It's only because of her commitment. He requested, I think Ravi requested to for a timer role, but he was persistent to give, like he wanted to experience the art counter role. That was his commitment to learn new things. So kudos to you, Tim. Ravi, your speech was excellent. Unfortunately, you didn't overshoot at the time, but it's okay. It was your first speech, but it was great. I mean, it's wonderful to see members like you, new members who are like practicing, like your actions are inspiring all of us, even this is experience. So keep it up, and you are the one who will try this club. I mean, we are looking forward. The one more thing, I am looking like we want associates, EXCO members, people like energetic members who can support us and who with them we can create a new EXCOM team. So anybody is interested in supporting club, whatever you can do for the club, come forward. You can contact me, and or you can contact team Ravi, whatever you are interested. Whether you are going to take a role of staff, VP education, start playing as an associate member. So you will learn while doing this. And pathways. Pathways are very important. We take the membership, we choose the pathway, but we don't follow. I mean, we take one or two speeches, then we forgot the pathways. We are very few members are there who are like we can learn from team Krunal, team Vikram, team Gitanjali. They are so persistent to complete their pathways. And let me tell you, pathways are designed in such a way that you will excel in that subject. Once you will read the next level, the details, you will learn a lot. Whatever written in there, if you follow that instruction, you will become an excellent speaker and you will understand the subject in deep, whatever subject you have chosen. So please take it very seriously. And we will be having area contest, state level, national level contest. There is a condition that certain level of pathways you need to complete. So that is also one of the reasons that pathways needs to be taken seriously. And somebody is interested in taking part of competition and he or she is not completed the pathway, please approach. You can contact me or TM Ravi. We'll help you out to complete your pathways by giving you a slot of speeches. This is where you can support your club and you can fulfill your goals. So with this, I adjourn this. Sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot. Award presentation. I continue the award presentation. I request TM what to come on stage.
Who and who volunteered?
Oh. See, it's a kind of positivity we have. Dhruv and Udit decided to not to take participation in voting, and we have selected TM Kabir as the best speaker. Big round of applause for team blue and yellow. This is a sign of true leaders, and this is a sign of we supporting each other. Best evaluated team to last. And we will celebrate today. Different topic speaker, symbol of happiness. Yes, yes, yes. Best supporting role, the Hollywood star of EDM.
Oh.
I would have been asked question, favorite celebrity. Best role player, of course, Team Pradeep. It's always
Pradeep deserve this prize.
he not only took the role, he selected the same team.
Ah, yes, that is something very.
Good round of applause. It takes all of you together to do photograph.